Hello friends, welcome to the IT Buddies channel. In this video, we are going to build a project named RecipeFinder with the help of React, Redux, React-Bootstrap and reacr-router-dom. To do this project, we get the help of this recipepuppy.com. This site will provide us a best API to find any recipe online. So I want to give you a quick overview about this project, what we have to build inside this video. So here you can see the favorite buttons at the left hand side. When I click on this, you can see here nothing because inside our favorite recipes we doesn't choose anything now. So here we can search any recipes with the help of these ingredients and dish. Let's add any ingredients here, and dish is burger. You have to write anything here. Now I press on submit and you can see here plenty of dishes is showing here, so we can get any of them and choose to make our best burger. And whenever I click on this select stars, and now I go inside these favorites and you can see here our favorites is showing here successfully. And let's click on this link, and now we find the recipe to make our burger. Here you can see ingredients and direction is showing here to make the burger our best. And we do this project with the help of this recipepuppy.com. This will provide a best API to find our recipe online. Remember what is API? So the development of apps for mobile devices, or you can say web pages, meant the organization needed to allow users to access information through this app that we use to make our project. So while programming, if you got any error, then you can check my description. I also added the GitHub code, so you can download that zip file or copy that code inside your favorite text editor, and you can do the project like same as me. So now let's move to our coding part first. So let's create first our project folder. My project name is RecipeFinder, so I write create React app RecipeFinder. The name is totally up to you. And now press enter here. Now you can see here our RecipeFinder folder is created successfully. So now we have to move inside that folder. So I write cd RecipeFinder. After that I want to install some dependencies. So I use this npm install command, and after that I use this --save command. So with this --save command, whenever I install some dependencies, that will automatically add it inside this package.json file. Then we have to install our Redux, because we want to use that create store method, dispatch method, reducers method, actions method to managing our data. So we use this Redux, and after that our second dependency is React-Redux to combine our React and Redux together. After that I want to install React-Bootstrap because React-Bootstrap is help for styling inside our project. Then I want to install reacr-router-dom. This tool allows us to handle routes in a web app using dynamic routing. So now press enter here. This might take some time. This dependency is added successfully now. So now we have to move inside our folder, and inside this source folder I want to delete all of this file instead of this index.js file, because we want to do our coding with scratch. Now delete this, and now I want to create components inside my source folder. And our first component is app.js. So create new file called app.js, and here we want to start our coding with some basic part. So first we have to import our React, then component from React. Then we have to use this class based component. So class app extends component. Inside that first we have to render, then return. I create a div. Inside that I use RecipeFinder because this is our project name. After that I want to write export default because we want to use this component inside index.js file. So I write export default and our class name is app. Now save this and go inside this index.js file. Here let's remove this because we delete some of the files. So we don't have to use this. We remove this CSS file and we have to import this app from our components. So components and inside our app file name. After that we also want to remove this strict mode. Now save this and here we have to write npm start. Now you can see our Chrome is open automatically. Here you can see the RecipeFinder is right here because we write this RecipeFinder inside this div component. Remember we also install React-Bootstrap. So to use that functionality we have to install Bootstrap CDN, or you can say we have to copy that link inside our index.html file. So go inside this official website of Bootstrap. I use Bootstrap 3.3 because I familiar with it. Now copy this CDN link and now inside our public and index.html about this title tag we have to paste here and save this. After that we have to add another component for recipe finding. So I create a new file, name is search recipes because this component will help us to search recipe. .js because this is our JavaScript file. After that we have to install our React component. From React and we use this Bootstrap. So we want to install our form. To use this React Bootstrap you have to familiar with it because in this video we don't going inside that detail so much. So you have to get knowledge about React Bootstrap. Then form group, from React Bootstrap, and we also have to install form control label. This will allow us to make style inside our file. So form control, then control label, and last one is button. Now let's create our class first. Class name is search recipes and extends our component. If we don't extend this, so we have to use this React app. If you don't install this component here but we install component, so we use only component here. After that we have to render and return. This is some like basic stuff. Inside that we have to put a form because inside our form we have to search recipes. So I use this form, that is we have to import from our Bootstrap, and I use this inline method also. Inside that I want to use this form group because I want to divide our file inside two groups. First is for our ingredients and second is for our dishes. So we have to find inside our recipe finder. After that form group I want to use this control label. If you don't want to familiar with this React Bootstrap, you can also create your own form with simple HTML. But I want to make some attractive our file, so I use this control label and all of this stuff. Inside that I want to write ingredients. Then inside our form control, this is type text, and I also want to write some placeholder. Here you can say cheese or thin crust, so our user can get idea about what is ingredients. Then we have to use our second form group for our dishes. So here form group, now I want to save this file because my prettier worked successfully, but you can see there is a problem because we have to use this form group inside our form, because you can see JSX extensions must have only one parent component. So let's cut this and paste here. Now save this because my prettier code formatter regenerated our file. And I also want this form control inside our form group. Also cut this and paste here. Now same like ingredients, we also add our dishes. So inside this second group, first I want to use this control label. This is for our dish. After that control label, I want to use form control. This is only type text, and inside this placeholder I want to use dish. Let's use dish name like pizza. The name is totally up to you. After that we want to use button, so our user can press it and find the recipe. Inside our button I press submit. Now save this. Now I want to space here. Then after this control label, I also want to allow space between two groups. Then same here. And I also want to space between this dish and our button. Save this. Now we have to use this component inside our index.js file. So I use here export default. And our class name is search recipes. After that save, we have to go inside our app.js. And here we have to import that. Import search recipes. From our search recipes. Remember, inside our app.js component, we have to use all of these components together so we can work efficiently. After that, I want to allow search recipes instead of this recipe finder because our form is created now. Search recipes. Now save this, and here an error. Let's see this. Yes. Now save this, and our error is gone. Now you have to open our browser, refresh this page. We have to can't see our search recipes, so yes, there is a mistake. We have to use our capital B and control label. So here we have typo. Now save this, refresh this page, and you can see here control label is not exported from React-Bootstrap. So I want to solve this by our Stack Overflow website. Now let's search what I have to do. Inside this answer, you can see here we have to install 3.32.4 version. So let's copy this, and inside our package.json file we have to use that. Now save this file. Now we also have to update our dependencies. So now press Ctrl C here, and we also have to close our Chrome. Now get this version, we have to write here npm install again. This might take some time. After that dependency is updated, we have to start our server again with this npm start. Now here you can see React must be in scope when using JSX. So inside our search recipes, we have get this extra M. Now save this, open your Chrome. Here you can see our files, and you can say search recipes component is added successfully, and here you can see ingredients and dish, and inside this placeholder there is cheese and thin crust, and inside our dish we can say pizza. You can write anything inside this placeholder, which is your favorite dish. Now let's make some additional styles with our CSS. First, here I want to write in this h2 command RecipeFinder, and I create a new styles component. You can say new folder inside our source for our index.css file. Inside that, for our whole stuff, so we can use body, and text align is center, so we can use all of this in center here. So text align center, and padding 5%, so we can get some space here. Now we have to tell our app.js file that we also included this index.css. So we have to import here, import styles, and our file name is index.css. Now save this, refresh this page. You can see here our style is updated successfully. So now let's write ingredients, and here our dish. But whenever I click on submit, you can see nothing is happened, because first we have to fetch API inside our project. So you have to got little bit question, what is API? So the development of apps for mobile devices, or you can say web pages, that organization needed to allow users to access information through apps and not just through the internet. So we have to use this recipe puppy to get our submit button and find our recipes. So we use this API. So now go inside our search list, search recipes, and first we have to create our constructor. Inside that there is a super class. This is convection. Remember, constructor is called automatically whenever our search recipes file executed. After that, inside this constructor, I want to use here this dot state, and by default I want to use that empty array, or you can say empty string inside these ingredients and our dishes. First it is empty, then we have to map inside that. And we have to use that API, so we use another function, that is helper function, and our function name is search. Inside that we have to copy our URL, that is http www.recipepuppy.com, and we have to use that API. After that we have to import that onClick JavaScript method, so we can press the submit button. So inside our button we use that on click functionality, and this will call our function that is search, and we will fetch that API. After fetching this API, we have to change this state, so our ingredients and dishes will change, so it will change automatically from our result. So we have to use that on change functionality. Inside that we have to pass our event and this dot set state to change our state, that is by default empty string. Inside that we have to pass our ingredients. And inside these ingredients we have to pass our value, so event.target.value. So whatever we write here, that will call event.target.value, and that will change our ingredient state. So we can change this state by the set state method, and we also have to use this functionality inside our dishes. So after this pizza, and we have to write dishes. Now to check our state, we use this console.log inside our search function. So I write here console.log to check our state. This dot state. Now save this and open a browser, refresh this page. First I want to open console. Now I want to write this cheese and here like pizza. Now press on submit. You can see here ingredients cheese and this pizza is added successfully, so we can get them. Now to get our dishes effectively, we use JSON inside our project. So instead of this double quote, we have to use backtick, that is above on tab button, or you can say left hand side of one button, and here backtick you use. And for backtick we use that dollar sign, and after this API we want to fetch our ingredients, so we use I for that and dollar sign for our JSON file, and here we want to print ingredients, so this dot state dot ingredients. After that we have to print our dishes, so and inside that we have to use that dollar sign again, and this dot state dot dish here to pass that whole URL inside this console.log. So I write here URL. Now save this, but you can see there is an error. So let's solve this first. Problems, you can see here there is an unterminated. So yes, we found that we got a single quote instead of that backtick. So now save this and our error is gone. Now open a browser, refresh this page, and after passing our ingredients and our pizza, we can get that whole query recipe.com inside that cheese and pizza. Now instead of passing this very big, so let's remove this dot state, and here we have to tell that ingredients and dishes, this dot state. So now refresh this page and write again cheese and pizza. You can say our functionality is working same because we assign ingredients and these inside first this.state, so nothing is changed and we got our whole URL successfully. Now the time is come to get this data from this website, or you can say API, because we have to see all of that disease that we enter here. So JavaScript has inbuilt function that is fetch, so we can get this data from this API. So let's use that fetch function. Now instead of this console.log, I use fetch, and first we have to pass our URL, and as an object we have to pass our method. I use this get, and now we have to print our data in our JSON format. So we have to write our promise here, and we have to pass our response, and that is on our JSON format. So response.json. We also have to pass our second promise. We have to install an extension from our Chrome, so that is access control allow origin. So let's copy this and paste here. We have to install this extension, not this. Extension name is course unblock. This you can see here, I already installed it, so you have to install that extension first, so we don't have to see that error. This is that extension, so I use it, and now refresh this page, and now I write cheese, and our dish is pizza, and now submit. And you can see here our recipe is got whenever we install this extension. I have already installed it, and we also get our results. You can see there is an many of these pizza dishes we can get inside this console. Now let's take a quick pause here. If you want to continue to do our project, then simply check my description. I will add our next video link whenever I upload that second part of this video. So thank you and bye bye.